Dear listener, please join us in celebrating Heartstopper, a beautifully created Netflix show based on the graphic novel series by Alice Oseman. It's filled with teen angst, a search for identity, friendships, and first loves, and of course, so much LGBTQ plus representation. We hope you've watched it or will watch it soon. Sincerely, The Shrinking Violets.
Hi, this is April.
And this is Lourdes.
And we're the Shrinking Violets.
And this is Chapter 18, our Heartstopper review.
Yay!
So we're going to talk everything about the new Heartstopper show on Netflix, which is based on Alice Oseman's graphic novels, which are like the coolest graphic novels ever. And should I read the summary now?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So this is a summary for the books and the show. So it's a British coming-of-age romance streaming television series developed for Netflix based on the webcomic and graphic novel of the same name by Alice Oseman. Starring Kate Connor and Joe Locke, it tells the story of Charlie Spring, a gay schoolboy who falls in love with someone he sits next to in his new form, Nick Nelson, while also exploring the lives of Charlie and Nick's friends, Tao, Elle, Tara, Darcy, and Isaac. Yeah.
Okay. So we're dressed up, kind of. So I am Tao.
Yes.
With his beanie and his little things in his hair.
Yeah.
And his school uniform, I guess.
School uniform, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's always wearing a beanie. Like immediately when I walked into the game, I'm like, "Are you Tao?" So it's perfect. And then I'm just dressed up as a cutesy, fuzzy thing because this whole show and this whole series is just cute and fuzzy, and I have a little heart on my sweater because I'm a Heartstopper.
And we are in Charlie's room right now.
Charlie's room. Over here is his drum set. You probably can't see me. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. He's got his posters and
the strokes. I love the strokes.
Kind of a little messy room, but yeah. So I'll start with the first question. We're gonna just answer some questions to kind of guide our discussion of the series. So the first one is about character portrayals. So what are your thoughts on how the actors portrayed the characters? Which actor do you think played the role the best?
So I thought they did a freaking amazing job. Like kudos to the casting people because everyone felt like they were the character. And I just want to say that the actor who plays Nick, to me, felt like he's going places. I don't know why. He was the one that made me feel the most feelings, and I feel
facial
like he's going somewhere.
I think so too. No, I agree that all of them are pretty perfect. Like I don't think I would have changed anyone. And I think that it helps that the author is the program creator.
Oh yeah.
So if she had a vision, she obviously gave her input onto who the cast was going to be.
Yeah.
And then I think that's how it should be, right? I think that's what makes when the show's probably going to be good or the movie.
Yeah.
So I don't have a favorite, but I do believe that I think Nick is the one that made me feel the most.
Yes. And I Tao too. So in the book series, you kind of are annoyed by him because he's constantly like getting in Charlie's business, but you learn that it's because he cares for his friend and he cares for all of his friends.
Yeah.
So that was perfectly portrayed with this actor and the writing and everything. It was perfect.
Yeah. So that kind of leads to the second question. Can you go ahead and ask?
So did you have a favorite secondary character?
So mine was Tao. And I think because I really like his
comebacks.
Yes.
So good.
They're just so the way that he approaches things, that's probably not the way that I would. But I love how he sticks up for Charlie.
Yes.
Yes. I just love his overall kind of attitude,
Yeah.
kind of vibes.
Yeah.
It's totally how I pictured him from the graphic novel.
Oh yeah.
Because he kind of has this grumpy face, and he does that in the actor does that in the show
That's
too.
true. It's so true. Um, my favorite one was, what is her name? Elle. Okay, Elle is my favorite because, or my favorite secondary character because we get to see more of her in the show from the
Mm-hmm.
comic. And
Yeah.
we get to see more of her point of view, I guess, in the all girls school.
Yes.
And we get to see how she makes the friends, whereas in the comic we just suddenly know that they're friends. um and I can't wait to see more of her story because she has a trans story and we need more of those kinds of stories.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I really like that you said that we get to see her point of view, because
Hmm. Hmm.
we I was thinking, does any of this happen where we get to see how they become friends? And I was like, no, it
No.
really doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't, because all we see is the boys school, and this
Yeah.
time we got to see the girls school and it made me so happy.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
I also love the teacher.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. Oh my god, I forgot about him.
he's
Yes.
so cool. I know that there's another teacher that's also part of this
Gonna pop up.
story.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think he might be part of it. Who
Mm.
knows? Because
Yeah.
that it kind of
It,
came into play
in the
volume 3 and 4,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but I don't even know if I want to say spoilers yet, but but yeah, so I think that he comes off as super supportive from the
Super
beginning,
supportive.
as
Yeah.
opposed to in the graphic novel we don't know about him till
Later.
later, and he's kind of, yeah, he's there, but he plays a bigger role
Yeah.
in the show, I think.
Yeah. Oh my god, I just when I was watching him, I was just like, "Oh my god, this is a perfect teacher. A perfect
Yeah,
support teacher."
he
Oh my god. It was
is. He's
beautiful to
funny
see.
too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the next question is, how accurate would you say this series was compared to the graphic novels? Is there something they added or omitted that you liked or disliked?
So, we already mentioned how some things were different. Like,
Yeah.
we got to see more of Elle, and we um, got to see the teacher from the
Mm-hmm.
beginning. So those all were positive things. Honestly, all of the additions just made the story way better. And I wasn't mad at anything. And I guess we were talking about how some things were taken out too. Some people were taken out. Um,
Yeah.
what's his name? It was the little brother, right?
The brother. Uh-huh.
The little brother, and some people were added. Like there was a girl, Imogen.
Imogen. Yeah.
Imogen was added, so that was an interesting story to see. Imogen was there to basically be she was crushing on Nick, and this was Nick's kind of moment. Like Imogen crushing on Nick let Nick know that he liked Charlie. Like
Charlie.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. That was I think it was important to add it. I
yeah.
mean, it still made sense in the graphic novel,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a good way to kind of have him reflect, maybe.
Reflect. Yeah.
Um, and I think I have a feeling that right when she talks to him, when he talks to her,
Mm-hmm.
he kind of understands.
Yeah.
She doesn't really know exactly,
No, but she
but
understands,
she
and I love
understands.
that.
Yeah, because then she kind of has his back when
Yeah.
they're asking him like, "Hey, how was the
Yeah.
date?"
Yeah.
But yeah, she was cool in addition. But
Yeah.
yeah, nothing that was added was felt out of place.
Mm-hmm.
I love the little details that they added.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've been, I've been posting some of the side by side, kind of not side by side, but they use the audio from the show
Yeah.
with the comic,
With the
and
comic.
it's yeah, and it seems like pretty much the same.
Be the same. It's I love it.
And even his room is the same.
Yeah. Oh, and I mean, tangent, but all the little Easter eggs in his room, that was
Yeah. There's a
so
bunch of
good.
Alice Oseman books.
Books, yeah.
Yeah.
So good. Okay, next one. What was your favorite episode or scene in the show?
One, I guess one of my favorite scenes is the one where they go out to play in the snow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Oh, I remember crying at that part.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think that marks a very important kind of transition as to where it was headed towards, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
Not even just as a like a relationship, but
Yeah.
just as a friendship.
Yeah.
Um,
Ah.
some of the thing I don't have a favorite episode, but
Mhm.
some of the my favorite scenes are where something happens where they're holding hands or
Yeah.
and there's little sparks coming out.
Yeah.
That was so cute. I just couldn't.
Oh, yeah, it's just
My cheeks were hurting
really
from.
hurts, man. It hurts. My favorite scene, or one of my favorite scenes, because there's too many, was when Nick is at the dance and he notices in slow motion, he witnesses, and this is how I wrote it, he witnesses a full-on lesbian kiss, and it inspires him to be comfortable and open with himself and his sexuality. Before this, he feels like he has to hide it, but him seeing that kiss really inspired him, and it was just the revelation was it's so good.
Yeah, it kind of made him want that, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, they're they're open now and they're happy, and I want that kind of happiness.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
just the joy that he had for them.
Yes. It's so good.
Yeah.
It was done so well.
And I just also love how they're all dancing and they're all happy, and all the colors. It's there was a rainbow,
Yeah.
the lights and everything.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
and I
perfect.
know that that was done on purpose. And
Yeah.
it's just so cute.
Yeah.
So the next one is, what would the story be any different if it was set in the U.S.?
I think I mean only the things like maybe it wouldn't be at an all boys school, and there probably wouldn't be an all girls school. Um, uh, Things like what else was I thinking? Oh, this is a really dumb one. Well, the easiness in which the characters can go from place to place just on their own without their parents. That is a thing that I associate with people in England and like say people in Japan who have easy transportation systems. So
Yeah,
you know,
there probably would have been some car scenes if it was in the
yes,
US.
exactly.
Where like they are maybe driving or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
I think it would have been basically the same
yeah.
without those obviously cultural things. But I'm not gonna lie, I think it adds some sort of, I don't know, like in something makes it more interesting for me.
Yes, for us because we're not used to that
Yeah, I
culture.
just love
I
learning
love seeing
about
it. Yes.
about other cultures, and
Yeah.
I love hearing their slang and their
Yes. And their
just
whole
different
like
words.
we know the whole A levels things and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah,
you know, we things that we don't say here because we don't have it. But
yeah,
it's
and
just
I've always
fun.
found it kind of confusing, their school
Yeah.
system.
Yes.
And I think a lot of the interest comes from watching Dodie vlogs
Yes.
and
all
just
of
hearing her
those
talk about yeah.
yeah.
And I just love the words. I'm like, I need to start saying these words, but it also doesn't make it would not make sense.
No.
Like how I like how they say fit for someone who's good looking,
Oh, yeah.
but it's not necessarily mean in our context where they're
Yeah.
fit, where they're or working out or something.
Yeah.
They also use proper a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
That
Oh,
was
it was
cute.
definitely fun to see. But I did note that when it comes to being open about your sexuality, I feel like it would be the same in America and in England. I feel like people are a bit more open especially in the high school scene.
Yeah.
I mean, in Charlie's case, he people were okay with him being open. It was fine, whatever. But there were a few people who were the bullies.
Yeah.
That is to be expected, honestly, anywhere. So I think when it comes to that in both America and London, it's kind of the same.
Yeah, it's still not 100%
Mm-hmm.
okay for I mean for everyone.
Yeah,
They're still going to find somebody who's going to find
that
it
one person. Yeah,
wrong.
yeah. Okay,
Um yeah, so you
okay.
can ask the next one.
Next one. There are probably a lot of new people to the world of Heartstopper. What are your thoughts on this, and is it absolutely necessary to read the graphic novels?
Um I don't think that is necessary.
I don't think so
Uh
either. Yeah,
yeah.
but why
So
not? Like, you know, because it is. It's super fun to read them too.
yeah. I love that there are more people
Yes,
that get to enjoy the story without them having to read the graphic novels.
that's true. Yeah.
I know that I told my friend Gabby that
Mm-hmm.
she should watch it, and she kind of binged it,
Mm-hmm.
and she yeah, and she loved it.
Hey.
And she was asking me like, "Is there gonna be more? Tell me that that's not how it ends." And I told
Yeah.
her I hadn't even finished it,
Yeah.
and she had. So I'm like, okay, I have to wait and watch, see
To
how
see
far
how
they
far it
get,
goes, because it only
and
goes up to the second one.
yeah. Um, but I do think that if they people want to read it, I think it is a good way to support
Yes.
the author,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
yeah, especially if they're sharing the graphic novels on social media or something like that.
Yeah.
And I personally want to add them to my collection, but I know
Oh
it's going to
yes.
be pretty pricey.
Oh yeah. I mean, the paperback books might be easier, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm extremely. This is okay. So there's stories that I like to gatekeep, which like I like to keep to myself because I like it so much and I don't want it to be tarnished by people.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this story is totally different. I want everyone to either read it or watch it, and like the more the merrier with this, because we need more of this.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of how TJ Klune, because we saw TJ Klune in the Festival of Books, the LA Festival of Books. He said we need more stories where there's gay happy endings. Like the world needs more of that, and
Yes.
this is it.
Yeah, so that leads to the next question, because I was also going to mention TJ Klune.
Yeah.
And the question is, why are stories like these so important? And I think it's important because it shows how people can be quote unquote different, I guess. But it's okay. These people just want to be happy.
Yeah.
And it also, but the the overall story, it's like sunshines and rainbows, and it's so cute. But it also has some very important things that happen in there where the characters are experiencing homophobic slurs and microaggressions and insensitivity by their peers. And it's difficult for that age, right? For them to find who they are. So I think that this highlights some of the things that people might be going through, but a lot of the joy that comes from
The joy.
being open
Yes.
with your feelings and having those supportive friends.
Yeah, and this story is important for teenagers because they get to see just a positive representation of gay people or anybody in the LGBTQ plus community. We need more positive representations of that, and this is it.
Yeah, especially I think now that we're talking about the Don't Say Gay bill, and everything. It, I mean, some people might not change, right?
Yeah.
But I hope that if for, whatever reason, there's a teen who is struggling and it's like, hey mom, hey dad, can you watch this show with me? Something
It
trying to start a
start
conversation.
conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. Yes.
And I know that so Gabby had sent me a TikTok, and it
Uh-huh.
had an older man. He's probably like in the 60s, I don't know, something late
Mm-hmm.
60s. And he says that when he was a teenager, he's just watched it, and
Mm-hmm.
when he was a teenager, he had a like a secret boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he says it in this like comment, the little, I don't know what it's called, where
The comment
you,
section. The
yeah, where you title it, I guess, right? The
title.
caption.
Uh-huh.
He says like, "Oh, I was more of a Nick and he was more of a Charlie," or something,
Oh,
or vice
yeah.
versa, something like that.
Yeah.
And he says that he loved the show, but also it reminded him of his relationship
Oh,
because they didn't have a happy ending.
yeah.
Um, what ended up happening is that the other boy's father
Mm-hmm.
transferred him somewhere else, I think,
Mm-hmm.
telling him that that relationship that they had was not normal.
Oh.
And then eventually, when he found out, he got kicked out of his house, and
Oh.
he took his life.
No.
So he, he's now watching it as some sort of, I don't know, like it's late, right? It's late
Yeah.
for him,
Yeah.
but even though it will help teenagers now,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's in a way helping those that maybe went through something like this, or
Yeah.
are now older and they can see themselves
Yeah.
in something
Oh.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Next
Okay.
one.
So this these next few ones are gonna be a bit spoilery. So if you haven't seen the show or read the books and you don't want to be spoiled, maybe
You
keep
can,
like
yeah.
not like stop here. Okay, so we know this is not the end and that there is more to unpack. The story is going to tackle some harder themes. How do you think viewers might react?
In the third, and I don't remember, it starts in the third, right?
Mm-hmm. I think so. Yeah.
And it still continues on to the fourth
The fourth.
volume. It talks about Charlie. Nick finds out that Charlie has an eating disorder.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, through kind of just noticing that he's not really eating.
Yeah.
Um, and he kind of he only says it like, "Oh, I eat on my own time. Like right now, I'm not hungry."
Yeah.
So he's kind of tackling how to bring that up to Charlie,
Yeah.
and how to help him.
Yeah. And the way one thing I noticed is that this book series and this show really eases you in, or really the the the, the series eases you into these tough conversations in like it shows it in like a tender way where you feel empathetic towards the characters, and I feel that the show, when it gets to that, is going to do
Mm-hmm.
exactly the same thing. So people's reactions, I think they're going to feel, they're not going to be shocked, they're not going to be, scared or anything, but they're going to feel for Charlie,
Yeah.
and they're hopefully the right people are going to be watching too, because it's an important thing to know about in high school, where things are pretty crazy. People, a lot of kids are going through mental issues and
Yeah.
eating
Especially with
disorder
social
issues.
media
Yeah.
and seeing what, uh, I guess, um, what a perfect body
Yeah.
or whatever looks
Yeah.
like. And I also like the fact that it's not an eating disorder in like a girl's
Mm-hmm.
point of
Mm-hmm.
view, or she's not experiencing it, is a guy,
Mm-hmm.
which happens, right?
Yeah.
And it's not really talked about as much as with
With
girls and
girls.
women.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that, like you said, I don't think that people will be shocked. I think that we kind of already know about this, so
Mm-hmm.
it'll be a nice way to kind of talk about it and
Yeah.
help people out.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm thinking if trigger warnings will be added for the next one.
Yeah.
I don't know if they will, but
Yeah.
yeah. So I think there's still going to be a lot of cute stuff happening.
Yeah.
But so those of you who stayed here with the spoiler part and don't
Yeah.
haven't read it, it's still gonna be cute. It's not
Yeah.
gonna get super dark.
I know, and I was looking also in the episodes that we did get. I was looking for clues to see if they were gonna go there. And
Mm-hmm.
so far, we have noticed just a little bit like him going to lunch but not eating because he's really stressed out about his situation at the moment. So I feel like they're not gonna shy away from putting that in, and they're gonna slowly edge into it somehow.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. The next one is so as mentioned in our last episode, we are waiting on volume 5. Do you have any predictions as to how it will all end? Because volume 5 is the last one.
Yes. And volume 4 ended in Charlie going to therapy because of his eating disorder, and it all just kind of, everything just kind of uh, stopped. Everything kind of stopped for like
Yeah.
the cutesy going out friend thing, and all that stuff just stopped. And then it like did it. I can't remember if at the end they like got together in any way, or was it just the letter? I can't remember.
Um, I thought that he came back, like he
Came
was
back.
out of like therapy and
Yeah.
stuff,
Okay.
and but it wasn't kind of okay, you're back,
Yeah.
you're done with therapy, let's start
Exactly.
hanging out.
Yeah.
It didn't go that way. So
Right.
there might be some sort of regressions.
Yes.
Who knows?
That's true. But I just hope that there's some sort of happy ending. If this is the last book, some sort of happy ending.
Yeah.
And maybe even like they're gonna be heading off to college. What's gonna happen then?
Yeah, I think that there will be definitely a happy ending.
Yeah.
I think that they're just going to be, maybe their relationship is just going to be out more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially because Nick's friends, besides that
Oh, that's
one,
right. Yeah.
they kind of they side with him, like, oh, we don't like him either. We just kind of didn't stick up for you. you know?
Yeah. I remember that now. So yes, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like it's gonna be sad, but it's gonna be for sure happy in the end. That's what it feels like it's gonna happen. Yeah. The next one, due to the popularity, do you think she will go back on her word and keep writing more?
I think it's possible, but
because she said she wasn't gonna write anymore. That's it. The fifth one.
Yeah, I think they just said, "Oh, this is the end of the." I think at the end of the volume 4, right? I read the afterward thing.
That's right. Yes.
And it says like this, the next one is gonna be the last. I think that it is possible that she might not write like keep writing Heartstopper, but I think that it's possible that she can explore other characters.
Please, please. I want her to keep writing graphic novels. I want her to keep doing that, and just like new characters. I want that. That's what I need.
And maybe from like the girls' school, because now we see that there's obviously interest in that too.
Yes. Oh yes, because I know I've seen people on TikTok say, okay, we need a Heartstopper, but for girls, we need a sapphic Heartstopper. Please make it. So hopefully this opens, even if Alice Oseman isn't the person to make it, this opens the opportunity for other people to make that story for girls. That would be cool.
That'd be so cool. And there's obviously other books that she's written that's kind of in the same Heartstopper universe, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
Is there a scene that you are looking forward to in season 2?
Yes. So when I wrote this question, I don't know why I wrote it, because I couldn't remember any of the scenes, but the one thing that I'm really looking forward to is for them to go to Paris, and I need to see that.
Oh, that's gonna be so awesome. Yes.
Oh, that's another thing that would be different from America. kids in America
Oh, yeah.
wouldn't just be able to go to take a train to Paris.
Where would they go? DC or something? I don't
Boring.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think one of the things that I want to see is I love like the part where Nick is concerned about Charlie and he talks to his mom about it,
Yeah.
and his mom kind of they have
That
a
was
beautiful
oh,
conversation.
yes. I just remembered that and it made me cry.
Yeah, that part made me cry. It's just a good conversation.
Yeah.
And I love the little flashback kind of thing they that she showed, obviously, about their relationships, and it's just, and not just theirs but also the other characters and their relationships.
Yeah.
It was so cute.
So good. So if you could insert yourself in the series, who would you be? Existing character or new?
I would love to be part of their friend group because it just looks so much fun.
Yeah.
But perhaps my kind of into the friend group would be my friendship maybe with Tara and Darcy.
Yeah.
I would want to think that I would speak up for them.
Yeah.
And probably mouth off to the other girls.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, if I was a character in this series, I definitely would be the person to be like, F you. Like, leave my friends alone.
Yeah, I think that's definitely it. I don't understand how other people just don't say anything. It's crazy.
No, it's annoying. Yeah.
Something that when we went to the book festival thing, some people would ask this question to the authors. If people liked your book, what book would you recommend?
Yes.
What other book would you recommend?
Honestly, well, this is kind of like a cop-out, but any Alice Oseman book, like, she's a phenomenal writer. And I think my favorite one of hers is Radio Silence, even though I read it a long time ago and I need to reread it again. But she does such a good job in making it feel very like fuzzy, but also with serious themes as well. And she puts a lot of representation in there as well, because she herself is asexual, and she explores that in her books, and she explores all sexualities in her book. And so definitely any Alice Oseman book.
Yeah, see, this is the first that I've ever read, so I don't know the other ones, and I definitely would want to read her other stuff. I mean, I keep on talking about this book, but I think you can possibly enjoy Aristotle and Dante.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's all I'm gonna say, because you're gonna read it.
Yeah. So it's May, right? May, June, July. It's almost time for me to read it. So.
Almost time. Yes.
as soon as I feel like what's it called, a gap in the books I'm reading, I'm gonna read it.
Yes. Okay. That's good.
So the series has a great soundtrack. Is there a new song you have now added to your playlist? What song or songs would you add to the soundtrack?
I liked, I think is it Sappho by Frankie Cosmos?
Yes.
I also have added Girls by Girl in Red.
Oh, yeah.
Which I've already listened to some of her other songs, but not that one. And I already know Chloe Moriando songs, but I don't think I had I Want to Be With You in my playlist.
I really liked okay, so first of all, the first song that played, I think it was I have it here, Baby Queens Want Me. Really set the tone for the whole thing.
Yeah.
It was all like very pop, like synth, and like
it's gonna be good.
Yes. Like almost like nostalgic for the 80s a little bit. So, but one of my favorite songs was Lovesick by Peace. and
okay.
I felt like it was a very high schooly sounding song, romance high school sounding song, and then
Aw. I
uh,
gotta listen to that one then.
yes, and then there was one called "Don't Delete the Kisses" by Wolf Alice. I liked that one. And then there was an artist that I just kept every time I heard, because I made a playlist of all the songs, and every time I heard her songs, I kept looking to see who it was. I'm like, oh, it's her again. But I don't
Oh,
know how to say her name.
is it like that long one?
Yes,
Okay.
Biba Doobie.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll put the word here, Biba
There's
Doobie.
quite a few of those in there.
She was all over the place, and I loved it. So now I have to listen to her more. But oh my
Yeah.
god, all the songs are so good. And
Yeah.
if I were to add any songs like to the next season, I would add songs by Troye Sivan, or Years and Years, or Dodie. Those are the people I would.
Yeah. So I also said Dodie.
Yeah.
I would want a version of she that is he.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because that reminds me of the song "And I Love Her." Death Cab for Cutie covered that song, but they changed it to "And I Love Him," and it's just wonderful.
Or the she song can be put in, but with a scene with Tara and Darcy. Yeah.
But the problem with that is because in she it's not reciprocated.
That's true. So it can't be used.
At least at least maybe kind of showing Charlie kind of not knowing yet, right, that Nick is bi.
Yeah.
I also thought that Sophia would be good.
Yes. Yeah.
For Tara and Darcy.
Yes.
I also liked "Hey" by Liana Flores because that song is all about it's going to be okay. So I thought that would be a good song to add.
Yeah.
And we already knew Orla.
Yeah.
Yeah, before this, and I already knew that song.
Yeah.
But now I like it even more.
Yeah. Because every time I think about Heartstopper, that song comes into my head, and then the song is stuck in my head every time I think about Heartstopper, and I'm like, oh my god, I love how, like, we both knew this song, but now it has a different meaning now, and it's it's so much better.
And it was just a perfect song for that.
It was for the scene. Yeah.
Yeah. I literally was like, oh, Orla.
Yeah. and then like I was listening to the scene, but I was so crazy, like I was so excited that it was Orla, and I'm like, wow, they're really putting the whole song on here, aren't they?
Yeah.
I love that.
So cool.
Yeah.
So I think I can ask the last one. So Isaac is a huge reader, which I freaking loved.
Yeah.
Some of the books, do you remember what they...
Yeah, like I think he was reading Dune and The Girl's Guide to Murder.
Oh, Pride and Prejudice.
Pride and Prejudice.
Some nonfiction ones, I believe.
A lot of nonfiction ones, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I can remember. Oh, and an Alice Oseman book.
Yeah.
Radio Silence. That was the best.
So, which book would you recommend to him? Because I feel his taste,
all over the place.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
Yeah. I feel like he's really smart because of the nonfiction books that he was reading. And he also likes like cutesy books and graphic or mangas because he was reading a Naruto book.
Naruto.
So I would recommend, I don't know if he would like this, but A Secret History. I wonder if he would like that.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I think he might like The Song of Achilles.
Yeah.
It's not too adult that,
yes,
it would be wrong.
He's in high school.
Yeah. It's kind of in their element. It's fine. Yeah. It's not too crazy.
He might even like the Atlas 6.
Oh, yeah. And I would also recommend The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Ooh, he seems like the type of person to read that.
Yeah, but I would feel like you would already have read it.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Isaac is a new character that was just put into the show, and he wasn't in the comic, and everybody loves him,
Yes.
even though he has like 2 lines.
He's so. I love how he always has kind of, RBF, but he always has like resting, like nice face.
Right?
He's always smiling.
It's so true. I there's one of the YouTubers I was watching who was talking about Heartstopper. His name is Jack Edwards. He said that he felt like Isaac was giving off very asexual kind of vibes, and based on what Alice said, that she's hoping, I think Alice said it right, that she's hoping to put more of him in the next one or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I'm hoping that if it is true that they'll explore that more. I need it.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
I mean, it makes sense that they put in extra characters for a specific reason.
Yes.
And I feel like it is like with Imogene, she was put in there for the plot,
Yes.
So I think that this is gonna be something cool for Isaac.
He's such
cool.
such a good character. My favorite part with Isaac was this, and I felt like I would do this. So they were arguing, playing Monopoly, and then he just chucks the whole game because he's so over it. Like that's something I would do, because I hate it when people start fighting over something as dumb as just a game,
Yeah, he's like, oh well. Okay, next.
And
they just kind of, they don't get mad at him. They
No.
just go, okay.
I love that.
Yeah.
I actually like reversed it a few times because this is too funny. Yeah.
But that was the end of our questions.
And this is the end.
Yay.
Anything else? I think we said it all, man. This is such a good
Let me go
series.
back to my other notes.
I heartily reacted. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's her name? The sister.
Yes.
Tori?
Yeah, Tori.
Yes, I love that they explored also more of their relationship.
Yes. It was
She's
so
funny, and I like how she's just like lurking in the background, always just sipping on some drink. She always has a drink.
She's like Tao in a sense, where she's so protective of Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so cute to see.
I also realized that I know nothing about rugby.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know anything about sports in general, but I'm like, wait, why aren't they wearing helmets? They're getting tackled.
Yeah. I guess they don't tackle in the same way. Oh no, but that's true. They were tackling.
Yeah. And then and I love that. I think this is gonna be my last point. I also like that Alice was on the train.
Yes, I was so excited to see her.
Yeah, me too.
And also because we had just been in a train. Like, we took a train to go see the LA Festival of Books, and seeing that scene, like, it just gives you such good like weekend vibes. Like,
yes,
summer
it
weekend
does.
vibes, and I'm like, I want to be here. I want to go to the beach with them. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's about it. I'm just excited for the next one. I think it's gonna come out probably 2020.
Don't say that. I don't want to think about it.
It's gonna take a while, but I'm here for it.
Hopefully it's next year. I mean, you never know.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Okay, that's it for now.
That's it.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Watch it. You better watch it.
Watch it. Oh, I'm out of the camera.
Or read it.
Oh, read it.
That's also fun too.
Get out of the way.
You get out of the way. Yeah.